Sometimes it's amazing to me how you can see something a certain way for a long time, and then all of a sudden someone gives you some new information, and you start seeing that thing differently. I'll give you a good example. There's this movie called Blood Diamond, right? By Leonardo DiCaprio. He's the main actor in the movie, and I know many of you have seen it. After I've watched the movie like 6 times, and I just thought it was a good movie, and Leonardo DiCaprio saved the day and all that. But after reading and doing some research on my own that has nothing to do with the movie, then I came to see the movie a different way. And this is what I discovered about the movie. In the movie, they push certain narratives that are destructive. One is they make you look like as if something is fundamentally wrong with black people. Because there's a scene where I can't remember the man's name. I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be sincere. But he was questioning his blackness. If something is wrong with him being black, that's why there's so much chaos. That's one. Number two, it creates this illusion that somehow white people are supposed to exploit black people because black people don't know how to use the resources they have, so white people are supposed to exploit them. And three, it creates the illusion that somehow white people are supposed to come and save us. In that movie, you see the reporter lady was the one that could control the helicopter to come and pick them up and things like that. They always make it look like black people need white people to save them. Then another thing again, it creates the impression that black people are used to chaos. They enjoy chaos, they thrive in chaos, they love chaos. And which is a very, very dangerous thing to see or even claim. Especially in the movie, you can see black people, these young boys jumping up when they are banging a car or they're killing people or they just enjoy the chaos. You can see they enjoy it. Now, they also create the impression that the African country is a country that is ruled with insecurity. There are some truths to it, but it's not always the case. A lot of African countries can defend themselves when they have terrorist attacks and stuff like that. And then another thing again it does is that it creates the impression that we Africans are used to death. Even you will see in the movie a lot of Africans die in the movie, and they just normalize the death of Africans. They make it look like, it's not a big deal if an African person died, right? But then guess what? When Leonardo DiCaprio was dying at the end of the movie, which eventually died, you can see how they kind of made the whole scene emotional. The song they were singing, everything became slowed down. It was like as if, man, Jesus Christ was dying. This good man was dying. But in all sincerity, what did Leonardo DiCaprio really do? He was a soldier that was out for himself. Only at the last minute he realized that what he came for, he couldn't get it. So which made him switch. So it's some of the message they send in that movie. And sometimes if we're not careful, we internalize the wrong message and it continues to affect us.